afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, June 20, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. I have a reverse aging health call tomorrow night, Friday, give or take around 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Interesting quote from Wayne Dyer is, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. A lot of us don't really think about the energy that we're putting out on a daily basis. We're distracted on so many other fronts that we don't focus on, okay, wait a minute here, what am I putting out? What type of energy am I putting out? So it's a good idea to think about what kind of energy you are sending out into this world. Notice how you think about the people close to you, far away, or just those random souls who cross your path. Do you spend even a few moments judging them? Or let's say, do you feel that pull to judge them? Have you ever thought that they are a terrible dresser, too fat, ugly, or bad driver, right? Or just plain rude? Now, judgments are something that happen to all of us. None of us are exempt. And it is a stage we must all go through to master this temporary existence in human form, so the human existence. Whenever you find your mind is creating this narrow-minded negative perception about another or yourself, take a quick step back and see who it is that is judging. Who do you think is judging? I bet you $10 it's a ego mind judgment. Now the great thing about judgment is that it forces us to do what? Forgive. We get to experience the realm of real love and feelings of forgiveness that melt the protective walls that we put up around our heart and help us to merge with this universe. The power of loving forgiveness is truly transformational, as it can sneak in and heal the deepest parts of your unconsciousness. Incidences from the past, which we forgotten yet haven't totally forgiven about ourselves, are released and healed when those forgiveness engines get moving. Tiny spark of judgment yesterday may have been exactly what was needed to ignite a wildfire of healing from an issue 25 years ago. There are always positive aspects to everything in this life. Always. Now, of course, some of us will go, there's no way. Look at what's happening, and look what I'm experiencing. Where is there positive? Where? Yet judgment is the main cause for 99.9% of our pain, struggle, and suffering. It is perhaps the best way to remain lonely, friendless, disconnected, and at a very low manifesting vibration. The more you judge, the more separated you feel from love, and as your body becomes more and more contracted, it becomes harder for you to receive love. It is nearly impossible to attract great things into your life when you are in a constant state of judgment about yourself or others in this world. Have you ever been around somebody that's constantly judging? You ever experienced that? Maybe you, I don't know. But constantly judging everything. Putting a stop to the big J, judgment, is really extremely simple. It all starts with the choice to develop the new habit of loving acceptance and appreciation for others. You can't judge someone when you are committed to consciously appreciating them exactly the way they are. To instantly shift out of our saboteur's judgmental energy, think of just one thing that you could appreciate about them. Make it up if you cannot find something. Then imagine your heart is opening like a lotus flower and pouring out of it are 10,000 beams of golden loving light that is surrounding them. Notice how you feel after you imagine this. This commitment to always responding with appreciation is profound. The moment we make this commitment, we will transform our entire life as well as the consciousness of those lives of others around us. Imagine what your world will be like once everyone around you is continuously giving each other morsels of appreciation. It will spread to other communities through the internet and eventually around the world. Through this simple commitment, there would never be another war on this planet ever. And we could all live in enjoying this life in bliss together. Now, if you cannot find something you appreciate about someone you're in conflict with, imagine something positive is happening to them. This is another way of giving love. The next time someone gives you a nasty look, or that driver cuts you off on the highway, imagine that they just received the raise they need at work, or their spouse just gave them a big hug. Notice how your body feels after you visualize this for them. Then you can easily appreciate them, for they've helped you to increase your vibration in that moment and instantly shift into a higher plane of consciousness. Transforming each judgment instantly into love takes a simple awareness of when you are having a bodily contraction and feeling tight, heavy, or uneasy. If you're not feeling expansive joy 24 hours a day, you're most likely holding on to some judgments about yourself, others, or life inside. By consciously holding the intention to become more aware of your contraction reactions, you empower yourself to transcend the judgment habit. Only through awareness can you flip your focus towards the land of lightness. Find your commitment to appreciation. Each time you practice this, a warm, loving feeling will move through you, and eventually it will become your natural way of being and be radiating from your heart all the time. Have you ever met anybody like that? You ever been around anybody like that? So, for the next 7 days, right? Make the commitment to turning judgment into appreciation. Practice all the exercises. Evolve with it. Each time you see someone you don't know, at the store, gas station, anywhere, consciously visualize your heart turning into a golden flower of light and radiating love into them. Simply say to yourself, I love this person just because they exist. You will be amazed at how this simple exercise will create a huge shift in your life. Stop the mind from forming any judgments that may have previously arisen. Surround them and yourself in this golden light of love, and know that in this field, everyone can manifest more love, appreciation, and abundance in their life. Now, doesn't it make sense, with all this transition going on, all the distraction, all the goop and the disinformation, does it make sense for us to spend our energies focused on it? It's something we should ask ourselves. Is that where we want to put our energies? Is that where we want to go with our frequencies? While we think that our circumstances are the cause of our frustration, the real source lies in not being aware of our higher self. Here, really up. Now, there's like a couple kinds of people in this world. Those who choose to live their life as an exclamation, and those who are living life as an explanation. The first group of people is in touch with their infinite self, and thus seeing life as a constant celebration. They are focusing on how they are fortunate they are to be alive and how successful they are in their lives. They are grateful for and celebrating the challenges that make them grow stronger. These people are supremely positive, uplifting beings who are empowering themselves every day and naturally helping others to feel positive, happy, free. They see life as a positive, fun-loving experience where they have the power to create everything and anything they desire. Now, the second type person tends to hide behind a facade of lies they tell themselves. They don't want to see the truth of who they are because it's too painful to look inside and feel what they are hiding. They've been living a lie for too many years, and to come out of it is more painful than staying in it. They are blind to their inner power, divinity, and ability to see life as fun because they believe something is fundamentally wrong with them. They use excuses as a crutch to hide their feelings of inadequacy and insecurity and blame people, circumstances, and everything in the outer world for their unhappiness. The main response to others is, I'm not enough, and always have an instant exclamation ready for their unacceptable behavior. Have you ever met someone who is full of excuses from the very first moment you meet them? They're constantly apologizing for things that they didn't follow through with and having an explanation ready ahead of time for why it didn't happen. How do you feel about them? Can you trust them? The people who are addicted to the habit of inventing creative explanations and justifications are doing this just to avoid feeling guilty, judged, and blamed by others. This is an old childhood strategy to escape being punished by mom or dad, and is one of the most self-destructive, disempowering habits you can do. Unfortunately, this game of explanations keeps these people from reclaiming their true power in this world. Whenever you tell the first lie to another or to yourself, you have to continue to cover up that lie with another lie. And the layers of lying soon become very deep, and you start feeling very stuck in your life situation. This lying habit of continuously explaining and justifying yourself only makes you feel like you're swimming at the bottom of a barrel, paddling around in the mud. The need to hide behind a long line of excuses takes away your energy and vital creative juices that are for designing this life of your dreams. Whenever you find yourself making up an excuse in your mind, notice how your ego is already spinning extra energy wheels around thinking, what will others think of me? It then becomes very difficult to feel and see your true beauty, God power, and how divinely perfect you are, just the way you are. The big challenge here is breaking past the societal conditioning that says living a life of lies and self-deceit is okay. If you're caught in the habit of creating excuses for why you're late or why you didn't follow through with your agreements with others, it's time to look at this old childish behavior, start reclaiming your divine power of responsibility. You can get off this powerless wheel by first realizing where you are playing the "I'm not good enough" self-blame game. Notice if you're waking up, starting your day, feeling irresponsible, overwhelmed, guilty, or blamed about something from the past. We're pretty much all creatures of habit. And if you can create the habit of always being late, you can surely create the habit of being on time or even early. You can decide to wake up feeling great about yourself or feeling like a struggling slug in the mud. You are the one who is making your life decisions today. Whatever choices you make today are okay, as long as you are honest with yourself and conscious of the choices you are making. No matter if you decide to procrastinate and be 3 hours late to work tomorrow. If you're honest about why you chose this with yourself and everyone at work, this radically honest communication can transform your life for the better in more ways than you know. When you start taking full responsibility for who you are, what you want, and that you are manifesting everything in your life, then life takes care of you. As you practice making solid, healthy decisions that serve the highest good of all, including you, you'll transcend every old powerless pattern you've had inside. Sometimes we feel we need to justify our behavior when someone is judging or condemning us for what we did or said. Whenever feelings arise from doing something you think others may not approve of, yet in your heart you know is the right thing to do, simply move deeper into those good feelings in your heart and be silent. It will drive the other being deeper inside themselves to look at why they are playing the confrontational, blaming role. By feeling these good feelings inside, you create the habit of trusting yourself and take away the power you gave away to others, allowing them to condemn you. If things get heated, simply repeat in your mind, that this is all going to work out for the highest good of everyone involved, and speaking your highest truth without feeling bad about your decisions is the best thing you can do. This decision, to trust yourself, is where self-empowerment begins. The responsibility muscle grows strong enough so you don't have to create another excuse again. Imagine what life would be like if you never resorted to speaking another excuse again. What would it feel like to say no to feeling small and guilty, and instead you said yes to sharing the raw, real truth from your heart, knowing it is the real deal? Now, the next time that you are late, try expressing the truth of what happened from a place of love, honesty, and integrity. You don't have to go into all the details. You might say something simple like, I didn't leave my home early enough to be here on time. Or I decided I needed to finish the conversation with my friend. I challenge and invite you to see how radically honest you can become, and watch how it shakes and shifts the minds of those around you. Sometimes we are afraid that people will dislike us or turn everyone against us if we speak our real truth and stop giving those typical excuses most people are expecting to hear. The reality is that most of us tend to feel this low vibrational feeling whenever someone continuously disappoints us. And then on top of it, we have to listen to their long, drawn-out victim game of an excuse. What we really want to hear instead is what is honestly going on in their life and how we can help them. We want to know what they are going to do to start feeling more empowered, good enough, and capable of having impeccable integrity with the agreements they make. We all want to trust each other on the deepest levels so that whatever agreements we have with each other become the living truth for everyone to bask in. If someday you suddenly find yourself working overtime on a job or a relationship you don't enjoy, and are spending even more time in your inner excuse factory, take that same evening to take a good long look inside. Think about who you will be 20 years from now if you continue to remain where you are, using and abusing this over-explaining, the self-justifying excuse muscle. What will your relationships, finances, love life, and self-esteem feel like if this became your main way of operating for the next 20-plus years? Once you can allow yourself to see the negative long-term effects that this bad habit will have on your future self, it can motivate you to make a dramatic change. After you've taken some time to see and feel what your life would be like in 20-plus years of repeating this powerless scenario, then reverse it. Imagine what your life would be like after 20-plus years of being honest, full of integrity, standing strong in your truth every day. Surround this vision with bright golden lights and notice the great big smile on your face. Feel the heart that this being has and watch how fun, loving, and empowered their life is for them. Keep focusing on and feeling into this positive future, you, imagining yourself moving effortlessly into this new light-hearted self with ease. Not worry or think about fixing the old you. Just focus on the new empowered you and it will automatically replace the old you. You want this universe to bend over backwards to help you manifest the dream life you deserve, then start speaking the truth at all times and in all situations. Begin with eliminating the tiniest little white lie, to revealing your most challenging honesty in each relationship you have. Each time you meet, share that which is the most real, vulnerable, and true in your deepest heart of hearts. You will find great freedom and power in this approach to life. More than you realize is there. We are powerful manifesting beings, and the words we speak become the living reality when we are living from this radically honest space all week long. Yet, perhaps the best result of all is the constant celebration of this life, which arises spontaneously within all our acts, deeds, and relationships, especially the one with yourself. The day you shift over to the foundation of 100% trust in yourself and absolute integrity and authenticity with others, whatever you ask for will show up easier than you could have imagined. Giving up excuses you've been repeating for years is like letting go of a heavy weight on your shoulders. It can make you feel naked in the beginning, yet as you become accustomed to the lightness of your being, you'll start stepping into your true power, taking your life back by the horns, reeling in the greatest catch you will ever find, you. When you let go of living life as an explanation, and you begin to experience a deeper, more intimate, authentic relationship with everyone you meet, the people who meet you realize that who you are is not like everyone else, and they treat you with the utmost respect, love, and integrity in return. Everyone wants to live as their highest potentiality. You simply give them a reason to do it. It all is about you. Everything's about you. How you operate, how you become, how you view yourself, how you feel about yourself. These are the energies that are put out. These are the frequencies that we send out. Now, if you're in a proverbial lying position where you know, little white lies, whatever, and you keep this up year after year after year after year after year, you're trapped. And after a while, like I said, it's easier to stay in it than to leave it at that point. Easier to stay in it than to leave it. Imagine what it's like when you don't ever feel guilty. You're not ever worried about what other people think of you. Okay? You know you love you care for you, you're happy with you. You have forgiven, you have let go, you've surrendered several times. When things kind of come pressuring in from all sides, above you, below you, all around you, you get to the point where you're overwhelmed, surrender it. Let it go. Really. You say, I let all this go. You know, universe, it's yours. Have at it. But I surrender it all. Surrender your life, surrender everything. All of it. Let it go. Quit, stop gripping onto everything. And we all have a tendency to do that from time to time. Some more than others, some less than others. But it's all about you. how you view things, how you feel about you, is going to be huge on how you view others, how you feel about others, how you feel about life. I've met people through the years that, you know, they begin to convince themselves that they need to leave the body. It's really strange. They could be real wonderful healers and giving, caring, sharing people for years. And then all of a sudden, it's like they jump in this endless pit and keep falling and falling and falling. And you can tell how they change, and they drop into this frequency that is so dank, no matter what you say, right? They are convinced that they have to leave the body. And there really isn't really anything wrong with them, but they have manifested many things that they believe are wrong with them. And I've seen this happen more than once. And the next thing you know, they've left the body. And they left the body and they don't even know who and what they are. Because they were so distracted about all this goop. And they had the ticket out of the goop by increasing their vibrational frequency of their attitude towards themselves. What happens if you have an attitude about yourself that's just really not good? Okay? Might have been your program. Most likely it was your programming growing up. And you just don't have a high opinion of yourself. Now, there's a lot of people, maybe you've met some, that you look at them and you say, wow, they're attractive, they seem to be elegant and wonderful, and then when you engage in conversation, you're blown away because they don't feel that they're any of that. Their self-esteem is in the toilet. Now, if you looked at the surface, you would never in a million years believe that that's what you would hear coming from them. And have you ever been in a situation where someone is constantly degrading themselves, and you're constantly saying, oh, no, you're this, you're that, you're wonderful, you're very good at this, oh, no, you look fantastic. But they continually downgrade themselves. And the only thing you can do is visualize this golden, white, pink light saturating them. Pure, deep, eternal love. That's all you can do. Now, see, there's another area where people have embraced the head in the ego. Right? The head, the ego. And so they're on a trip of better than anybody, more powerful than anybody. And that's their trip. That's the head game the ego mind plays with them. And to the point where sometimes it's like they're obnoxious, where you just kind of go, hey, and the same thing. You flood them and saturate them with a golden, white, pink light. Pure, deep, eternal love. There are crystals. They call it rose quartz. Pink color. Has high energies, high frequencies of what? Kindness, love, bliss, generosity, humbleness. That those pink crystals do. One time I was on a farm, and I was driving a tractor. And there were a lot of fruit trees, so you had to be careful because the roots and everything. And this tractor was one of those, it was a mower tractor because it had a hydraulic deck, and you had to be careful. So as I was being careful, and it was kind of bumpy, and I had installed a spring-loaded seat with a high back. And so I was driving around, and now in my pocket I had a double-terminated rose quartz crystal. which means that at each end it was pointed, terminated, pointed, which is pretty unusual. Now, this wasn't a small rose quartz crystal. I mean, it wasn't huge, but it would fit in my pocket. And lo and behold, it had disappeared. Not a trace. And I later found out that there were ley lines, energetic lines, crossing that part of the property. And when at the frequency and the timing and the energetics and the atmosphere, that rose quartz crystal disintegrated completely. Not even any dust. It was nowhere to be found. Within, let's say, a 20 by 20 area. And it wasn't on a tractor, it wasn't in the tractor, it wasn't under the deck, it didn't get swept up, it had just disappeared. And that frequency added to those ley lines a much higher, deeper, eternal love energy. Because anytime anybody would walk over around there, they said they felt blissful for no reason. They felt good and happy. They didn't feel burdened. So we would have, at times, we had groups of people come over and they'd sit around this table that we'd put up. And we would just close our eyes and feel the energy. We'd all complete circle. Everybody would hold hands around the table and get in a relaxed state, relax into the body, and feel that frequency, that energy. It's just phenomenal. So a lot of times, crystals, and they have different properties, they have a frequency. They vibrate at certain frequencies like everything does. And if you're around a lot of caustic people, it could be your job, it could be a lot of things, neighborhood, whatever, apartment building. Make sure you have some rose quartz. It's not expensive. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Some rose quartz and some amber. Real amber, not the fake stuff. And you can find most of that on Etsy. But see, these properties assist us and help us. Energetic frequencies. Remember, we're like master wizards or magicians. And we use the properties and the elements of the planet that she provides us to assist us in our journey in these bodies on this planet. It is beyond physical. It's metaphysical. And assist us in cleansing ourselves. Whenever you go around people, whenever you get in with people, crowds, or you're going grocery, whatever you're doing. Okay. It depends. What are they thinking? See, their frequencies. You could walk right through them and pick up some of their, if they're heaviness. You ever done that? You probably have, and you kind of went, the heck happened there? So it's a really, really, really good thing to be aware on what you can do for you so that you begin to view others with deep eternal love. Many people look at life, right, as what? Some of you will identify with it. They look at life as what? A problem. They look at life as a problem. And life is not a problem. It's mystery to be lived, loved, experienced. Quote from Osho. There are three basic responses to this life. The first is resisting what is, where our body contracts, tightens, and constricts. This occurs whenever we feel threatened, out of control, upset, or hurt in some way. Second response is allowing what is. This is an experience of trust, release, and expansion. We interpret this life as safe, loving, and nurturing place where we can relax and truly let go. Our lives feel open, exotic, and spacious. The third response contains components of the first two, yet is more of a neutral, non-identified response. From this place, we are truly detached from the body. We have no opinion, no identification with these thoughts passing through, and are free from all forms of judgment and limitation of any experience that arises. And each of these three responses to this life is the possibility of discovering your own awareness. Life has given us the opportunity so that we may essentially be able to experience the totality of our divine existence. When you take a closer look, you'll notice that all three of these experiences happen to you every day on some subtle or intense level. Your body-mind will contract with suffering, expand with joy, or not really have any particular response at all. It all depends on where your awareness is fixated on. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Have a good laugh today. With all the outrageous insanity happening around this planet, you've got to think this life is hilarious in some way. A small part of you must be laughing crazily at it all, saying, oh my God, holy cow, wow, whoa, what a ride. Perhaps it's time to also say, thank you for this opportunity to wake up and laugh about it all. Did you know that seriousness is the number one leading cause of unhappiness in our life today? Tell the universe to bring it on. Your wild, free, laughing Jedi Master. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Friday, June 21, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and around 9:15 p.m. or so Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening out there or in here. Open your heart, let the magic flow in.